now watching the Loxs Gambling Podcast. Let's play, baby.
Yo. Welcome, everybody, to the Loxs Gambling Podcast, where we have the Loxs here. I am your boy, your host, your degenerate, your man's Hawk, @Spotlight_716. I'm here with my boy, Mr. Research himself, Mr. College Basketball, Buffalo's finest, KP, from the mind of KP. Kev, what's up? Oh boy.
It's a new day. It's a new day. So
it's a new dawn. It's a new day.
It's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new. So we're not gonna get hung up on stupid things that happen on the days that are behind us. Word.
I want to hear that song now.
We're not gonna get hung up on the stupid things that happened on the days that are in the past, because it's now the present.
Yeah. Well, what a game last night. What a game. I mean, all in all, it was a good game. Shootout, as we expected. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Bravo, went crazy. Went absolutely nuts. We had all the pieces. Just missed them by yards. Derrick Henry by 2 yards. And Mr. Lamar Jackson by 6. Those two go. We happy men today. But they didn't. So
Derrick Henry couldn't get 70 rushing yards. Really? Really? You bum. You stupid bum. No, I'm not mad. I'm not even mad at him. I'm mad at the play.
Like I say, he's not a bum because he is the best running back in the league at the moment.
He has the most rushing yards. We won't say he's the best running back in the league.
Okay.
Saquon is the best running back in the league.
Saquon is the best running back in the league. You're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right with that. Saquon is the best running back in the league. But Derrick's close. We have week 10 NFL Sunday slate to go with you guys, to go over today with you guys. Some good games, some bad games. I'm excited. There are a couple games that I am really excited about, so can't wait to get into those. There's a few games, like our first one, that I don't even want to talk about, really, but we will. We will. Because some of you might be fans and some of you might actually find some value in that game. I won't be, but I will give you my best insight on what I would be taking at that time, and so will KP. What was that?
I had to move the patty back, bro.
Oh, I was like, what was that?
I had to move the patty.
I guess we get right into it. Sunday, we're going back to London.
No, we're going to Munich.
Germany. Yeah, sorry, we're going to Germany.
Yeah.
9:30 a.m. over here Eastern time for us. The New York Giants taking on those Carolina Panthers. Giants are sitting at -6.5, -278 on the money line. Total is sitting at 40.5. This game is horrible. I can't think of a worse game in the NFL to watch, to hear about, to muster, any of it. It's terrible. You got anything on this game?
Well, for one, you might as well just play the clip of American Dad with the edited, like when they play the theme song and then Stan's still in bed and he just doesn't get up. Because That's this game.
Morning USA.
Yeah, you just hear it softly playing in the background while he's still asleep.
Yeah, like, what
That's
is
this
it?
game. If I were still in Denver right now and this game was being played at 7:30, I would be waking up at 9:30. I'm not watching it, but I do like the rushers in this game because both of these running defenses are not that great. You got Chuba sitting at 65.5 rushing yards, and I believe Tyrone Tracy sitting at 72.5. Those are both entertainable. Everything else, I don't really care about. I don't care about Malik Neighbors. No disrespect to him, but I don't care about any of the receiving pieces. I don't care about the tight ends. I don't care about the quarterbacks. I don't care about the score. I just want the rushers because these teams' rush defenses are very weak. So those intrigue me. I will probably entertain Chuba Hubbard's line just because it's a little bit lower and there's no real secondary rusher that you have to worry about. Devin Singletary and Tyrone Tracy have been kind of last game they both had a lot of carries. So Chuba Hubbard kind of has he has a cleaner path to get to that 65.5. So that kind of interests me. I don't care about anything else though.
Man, I'm looking at that. Tyrone Tracy had 16 rush attempts last week. I mean, yeah, I was leaning the same. I was sorry, we don't use the word lean over here. I was going the same way with you with the running backs in this game. Nothing else at all intrigues me in this game. I don't want anything to do with the passing game. I don't want anything to do with the receivers. So, I mean, Truba Hubbard and Tyrone Tracy, that's where I'm looking. I'm with you too. If I was to take one, I would take Chuba, just because he's been more consistent with his line, and it's lower, as you said. He's hit this line majority of the season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about six times already this season. Missed by one time. So yeah, I mean, I'll entertain Chuba, but other than that, I wouldn't bet this game. I mean, if you want to make some early money, yeah, I got nothing from that. I don't even like the spread. So yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing. Let's move on.
Yeah.
A real game. One of my favorite games of tomorrow. And it's our home team. Buffalo Bills. Buffalo
Okay.
Bills. Buffalo Bills versus the Colts. Bills are -4, -198 on the money line. Total is sitting at 46.5. I love this game. I really do. I love the Colts are settled in now with Flacco. We know it's going to be Flacco for the rest of the season. There's no more, wishy-washy. Is it Anthony Richardson? Is it him? So Flacco.
Do we know it's going to be him for the rest of the season?
I would believe so. I mean, who else would it be?
Well, I don't. I know for at least for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, I don't know if Richardson is getting many snaps right now in practice with the first team.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, that's what they said for the foreseeable future. So I'm going to go with that. But Colts obviously didn't look their best last week, but I feel like the Colts can definitely put up some points in this game against our Bills. They're healthy. Jonathan Taylor, all the wide receivers are good. I think the Bills are going to be able to pummel and do whatever we want on this Colts defense. They are pretty bad. They are pretty bad with letting up through the air and on the ground. I believe they're ranked almost dead. Not dead last, but close. Yeah, they're ranked 26 in passing yards, allowing over 233 a game. They're 31st in rushing yards, allowing 149 a game. So I think Josh Allen and James Cook are going to have a day. Some props that I really love this game. One, I like the over in this game because I feel like this is going to be a Josh kind of passing game, high tempo, pushing it down, score. And I think the Colts can score in this. Like I said, I think the Colts are more than can put up at least 14 to 21 points in this game. But I just think the Bills are just going to – I think this is going to be a game where the Bills just outscoring them, maybe end up winning by 14 to 20 points, but it's a real high-scoring game just because the Colts can't keep up with them. So I really love Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Like I said, I think it's going to be a high-scoring, high-paced game. And even if James Cook – I do like James Cook to score. I think he is going to score, but I think that Josh can still throw in. I expect the Bills to at least score 3 to 4 touchdowns this game. So I think 2 of those will be Josh through the air. Josh's passing yards are at 243, I think, and a half. I think he's only hit this 3 times this season. I know that's a little scary, but this Indiana defense lets up so many yards per game. So I think Josh can get there. But I love James Cook receiving yards the most out of this game. He has been getting real back into the receiving game, and I don't think they're really paying attention to him. His line's at 15.5 receiving yards. He's 1, 2, 3, 4.
What book is that?
This is on right now. This is on Fan. Well, I'm on props.cash right now. Some of the lines still not up on FanDuel yet.
Yeah, because they don't have any receiving props up right now.
Yeah, so I mean, they have a projection here. If it's at 15.5, I would jump on that insanely quick, but I'm willing to take this up to anywhere like to 21, 22. I'll still take the over on his receiving yards when they come out because, like I said, he's hit this seven out of 9 times already this season, 25, 22 last game. And like I said, I think the Bills are just going to be able to do what they want on this Colts team. And I think with Keon Coleman banged up, don't know if he's going to play. I don't think.
Yeah, they got him ruled out for. McDermott's thinking that it's a multi-week injury at this point.
Yeah, so it's definitely so that even more the reason I like James Cook more in the passing game, missing the receiver. So I think Josh is going to look to get James Cook. I think it's going to be a Cook and Allen game basically. So I like the Bills to win, and I like a Cook and Allen game. So passing touchdowns for Josh and receiving yards for James Cook.
Okay. I think I'm not as bullish on this game. I know the Colts defense for the season has been really bad. They've been allowing a lot of everything. But with that being said, I'm just not really too sure. Last game they played the Vikings and it was a 21-13 game. Everybody thought that was going to be a much higher scoring game than it was. Colts came to play. So I'm not exactly sure how it goes. I do think that the Bills win. And that's not just as a homer. I just feel as though Joe Brady has varied enough offense to where he's going to attack from different angles. I'm not as bullish on James Cook. I can understand why you would be. He also hurt my feelings last week, so maybe that's still fresh.
You're a little salty against James Cook right now.
Yeah, and I left him because I love him. I didn't, but it's still fresh in my mind right now. But I like Jonathan Taylor on the other side. We're really bad at defending running backs, especially running backs that run right up the middle. His line is currently sitting at 80.5. I think that if the Colts if they project this to be a 3.5 point game, Jonathan Taylor is going to have a huge part of that, along with Josh Downs and Alec Pierce.
The Bills will be allowing 123 rushing yards a game. You think Jonathan Taylor can go for 80 against a team that only allow 123?
Yes. Because a lot of the times we're only reason why it looks like we only allow 123, which is exactly what it's saying, is because we're playing from ahead in a lot of these situations. We're playing from ahead, but they want to their game is going to go through Jonathan Taylor. Joe Flacco is a competent and capable quarterback. They don't want to just say, hey, go out there, win us the game. They're like, we have a very talented offensive line. We have a more than talented running back. And this team is very susceptible in between between the blockers, and we saw that versus the Ravens with Derrick Henry running for 200 yards on us. Last week, Devon Achane, I think he had 68 yards, but it was only on 11 or 12 carries. So his yards per carry were very high. I think that Jonathan Taylor, there's a reason why that line is that high, is because people know that the Bills really aren't that great of a running defense. And if this is a game that's kind of going back and forth, you allow that running game to continue to be a portion of that game. That's not that crazy of a line for me. And they also don't have the receiving props up for either team right now. I think that Josh relies a lot on Khalil Shakir. It's not propped out right now, but I think that he's going to get a lot of tick or a lot of targets. Amari Cooper right now, he's still questionable to even play. So when you think about it in the passing game, the only healthy players that you're going to have are Khalil Shakir. I'm not even going to mention Dawson Knox, no disrespect to him, but he hasn't really been a factor. Dalton Kincaid, and Mac Hollins and Curtis Samuel. So, he's been loving Shakir. I like some Shakir. I really like it. I don't even know what his line is. It's probably
right now, I'm guessing 66 and a half.
I was going to say about 65 probably. And I'm still comfortable with it.
He's only hit 65, 66 and a half twice this season, by the way.
I'm not too worried about it. Or if you really want to get crazy, you go with Mac Hollins anytime touchdown, because it seems like Josh loves him in the red zone, especially when, for whatever reason, when Amari Cooper wasn't in that lineup, he's just like, okay, I know Mac Hollins is down there somewhere, and he's looking for him in the red zone. And they seem
don't say that. That sounds nasty.
It does sound nasty, but I mean, he's got 2 red zone touchdowns.
Do you like my knowledge? Would you rather Shakir receptions at 5.5, or would you rather the 66.5 receiving yards?
I'd take the receptions.
Yeah, 6, 9, 7.
Yeah, I'd take the receptions.
Then they'll had a little dip.
Are you hearing me? I'll take the receptions.
I know. I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's all I got from this one.
Okay. I'll record over 5.5. 5.5 receptions. All right. Fair enough. Vikings taking on the Jaguars. Vikings sitting at -6.5, -310 on the money line. Total sitting at 43. I mean, every bone in my body is just telling me this should be an easy handicap.
Mm-hmm.
This game, I mean, I want to take the Vikings. I mean,
of course,
I want to take the Vikings. Jacksonville's defense is horrible. Their secondary is dreadful. Dreadful. Allowing 264 passing yards a game. Allowing 2 passing touchdowns a game. And over 1.22 rushing touchdowns. They're just horrible. I mean, are we just gonna keep betting Justin Jefferson? I mean, I think I am. Like, for real, I really am. His line is at 93.5.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like,
yeah.
I might. I just don't see. Jacksonville's secondary is bad, bro. But
it's not great.
Yeah, but he covers this. Is what I'm saying. 137, 115. I mean, that's a high line. So I went a different route. What I did do, if the Jaguars are going to allow 2, at least minimum 2 passing touchdowns a game, I went with Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown. What?
No, for whatever reason, the ESPN app on my phone was just like, we're about to play this, and you're going to have to listen to it regardless. There's no way you can get out of it. So that was really strange. But continue.
Okay. Yeah, I went with Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the safest way to go with any JJ props. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like, if you take his yards, I'm not going to be mad at you.
Yeah.
I won't be mad at you because, I mean, it's probably going to happen. He's probably going to have over 100 yards in the touchdown this game against this Jaguars defense. I mean, I'm looking at Jordan Addison's line is at 39.5. He's been He's been relatively consistent. It's just I guess like when I bet him, like it's the days. Like remember, it's like Zay Flowers. I saw somebody tweet yesterday saying it had Zay Flowers box score of his games, and it said, "Guess what weeks I bet on Zay Flowers?" And it was only 2 games where he just like did nothing. And
Yes,
I feel like that's how I feel like
that was me as well.
Yeah,
That's on the ticket last night. I just had him get 25
Zay
yards, and I
Flowers.
had to sweat. I had to sweat.
Jordan Addison is my Zay Flowers. I feel like throughout the season he just like does what he's supposed to do, and then as soon as I bet him, he has a shit game. But his line's low considering he's the second option on that squad. Technically, I don't know if Hawkinson you want to consider him, but he just came back. But it's 39.5 against a Jacksonville secondary. I'm willing to take a stab at that. That's a low line. And Minnesota really good with the run. I think Bigsby's rushing is at like 50 something and a half right now.
So you're 49.5.
Yeah, I'm still debating it, but I'm looking at a few Jacksonville running back unders. The Minnesota Vikings are ranked second in rush yards, only allowing an average of 81 yards per game. I don't see the Jacksonville Jaguars being up in this game to a point where they're trying to run the ball and waste clock against a high-power offense like the Vikings are. So ETN sitting low at 30. That's really scary to bet a 30, but he's only had 3 rushing attempts in the last 2 games. He had 3 and 3, so 6 rushing attempts total. They're not really running him. They like Tank. But Tank only got 9 last game, and they're playing down. They're not really feeding Tank, so I'm kind of liking their unders too. I'm not going to pull the trigger on that one just yet. I'm still going to wait, see how I feel about it, and then make a decision on Sunday, but that's what I like from this game.
Okay. This is an interesting game with that line sitting at 6.5. Jacksonville just lost last week to the Eagles 28-23, but they were down that game by 22. And the Eagles are frauds. No disrespect to them. No, mostly disrespect to Syria. No, there's some disrespect. There's disrespect to them in a way because I feel like they're underachieving. But it still was only a 5-point victory. I feel like that should have been they should have blew that game completely open and just continued to keep their foot in the gas pedal. But this Vikings team, the defense has been really good. But also, Trevor Lawrence, he's trending towards not playing this weekend. That means a Mac Jones start. So I'm not sure what that does for most people when it comes to analyzing that in a betting sense. But yeah, Mac Jones is trending in the direction that Lawrence is not going to play this weekend. That's news that I saw earlier in the day. But I'm not sure how much that moves the needle. The Vikings did a really good job of keeping Joe Flacco and the Colts off balance. I mean, you got that look on your face. Trevor Lawrence has not been lighting the world on fire at all.
He's been horrible.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying Mac Jones going in there. It's like I don't really know.
He is horrible.
I don't really know if it changes too much, in all honesty. Especially with Jacksonville being at home, I could just see something stupid happening. But what I don't see, what I don't see not happening, and I know that's a disgusting double negative, but you know what I mean. I'm just going to keep going to the well that feeds you, and that is passing yards versus this Jacksonville team. You can basically just set it and forget it. Aside from Jordan Love going out with that stupid groin injury where he just was on the ground, was like, yeah, I can't do this no more. Where he had 196 passing yards in the beginning of the third quarter. And I think that Sam Darnold should be able to get to, I think it's 243.5 right now. I think that he should be able to get that comfortably. I'm not too worried about it. Jacksonville's not a terrible rush defense, and they're very susceptible for passes through the air. Obviously, that's usually how passes go. But I'm leaning on Sam Darnold to be able to get those yards. That just makes sense to me. Nothing else really stands out too much. That Justin Jefferson line is too high. Jordan Addison is too what's the word I'm looking for? Inconsistent. Yeah, that's the perfect word I'm looking for. And we're not exactly sure what TJ Hawkinson is just yet. I know last week I think he had 3 receptions for like 27 yards, but Josh Oliver had 5 catches for like 58 yards. So I don't know how that pie is going to be divvied up just yet. And I think that they're mainly moving through the air. instead of rolling craps dice and trying to figure out who's going to catch the passes, I'm just going to go with the passer. I'm going to go with Sam Darnold's yards.
I like that. I think that's just a game to keep it simple. Definitely going to be some wonky shit that happens, like you said. But if one thing's going to happen, Sam Darnold's going to be able to pass against this Jacksonville defense, like you said and I said. And we know a lot of those yards are going to go to Jettas. So let's keep it simple. And the Vikings should win the game.
They should.
It should. Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence don't really matter, like we just said. And if Mac Jones is playing, that's even more the reason that we should win the game. I would think so. Just off the fact that he might be, regardless of skill level between him and Trevor Lawrence, I still think Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback, but he also is just coming into a system that he hasn't played in all year, and there's going to be some bumps and bruises and, connections with his receivers that's just not going to be there if he does play. So, I mean, the Vikings should, in all honesty, I don't know why the spread is only 6.5. I guess they thinking right now Trevor Lawrence might play. I would love to see if they announce Mac Jones, what happens to the line. But if you want to jump on this line at 6.5 now for the Vikings, I would do it before they do announce Mac Jones play. And I would guess that would account for at least a point or two before it gets up to 7.5 or possibly 9, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what the books feel, how much, I guess, Trevor Lawrence is worth to the Jaguars. But all right. Next game, Steelers taking on the Washington Commanders. Commanders sitting at -3, -148 on the money line. Total is sitting at 45. I only got 2 things from this game. Waiting to see about Brian Robinson.
He got ruled out.
He's done?
Yeah.
All right. So I love is Eckler playing?
As far as I know, I haven't heard.
His line's not out yet. I already looked. That's why I'm going to have a close eye on his receiving lines. As soon as those come out, I probably will be all over those. Pittsburgh, obviously good against the rush. We know that. But their defense, their secondary, isn't that stellar. The 21st, allowing 219 yards per game. If Robinson's not playing, that's going to take a lot from that run game, and I think they're going to be trusting Jayden to make a lot of plays and decisions during this game. And I think that pass rush is really going to get to Jayden. And I feel like a lot of dump offs they already feed Eckler as it is. I mean, he's hit his line over 60% of the games this season. But I just feel like against the Steelers, he's not going to have that time that he usually has back there. Don't think he'd be able to just squirm around like Jayden Daniels does. I think that Pittsburgh's going to give him a really, really good challenge. And I think that if Austin's in, they're going to have a lot of design, just dump downs right over the middle or screen passes for them to get them out of a bind when they need to. And then Washington's run defense isn't the greatest either. They are 29th, allowing 143 rush yards per game. So I'm loving Najee Harris this game again. Najee's been really consistent. I think his lines, what I'm seeing is 64.5. He's covered this 7 out of the 10 games already. Okay. So, I mean, he's ran for 100 yards last 3 games. He's clearly the lone back for this team. So I mean, I think the Steelers are going to try and keep the ball out of Jayden Daniels' hands as long as they can, and that's what the Steelers do. Just play smash mouth football, even with Russ there. I mean, with Russ there, he's supposed to be the passing quarterback. Najee's ran for over, like I said, 100 yards last 3 games, and I think even having just Russ out there opens it up for Najee because they now know that they could pass the ball and do some play action. With Fields there, it was more congested and like, okay, well, if you want to do some play action and throw the ball, we kind of going to let him. You know what I mean? But with Russ there and the way he's been playing, I feel like that opens it up a lot more for Najee, which is why I think he's been doing better, because now people are scared that Pittsburgh actually can pass the ball and get some play action in there. So I'm liking Najee and Austin Eckler. I'm gonna keep an eye on Austin Eckler receiving yards when they come out.
Okay. I don't love anything from this game. So I'm gonna keep it nice and short. You did a great job of giving the overview and creating the projected environment for this game. I don't love it. So I'm not gonna to stay with it. Austin Eckler, I don't think there's any thought that he won't play in this game. I don't think he's on the injury report at all. But yeah, I don't really love this game at all. 44.5. I don't really love it. Plus 2.5 for the Steelers. I don't really love it. I don't love the game. So I'm gonna stay away from it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but if I was interested in anything, like you mentioned, it'd be Najee rushing, but everything else, I don't really care for it.
Fair enough. Falcons, Saints. Falcons are sitting at -3.5, -180 on the money line. Total was sitting at 46. Guess you can set us off with this one, Kev. Got anything for this one?
Well, the Saints just lost their head coach because he sucked, and the Saints suck. So I don't think that the special teams coach is going to step in and do anything groundbreaking to get this season back on track. Yeah, I'm not worried about this Saints team. I think that the Falcons are playing really good football for the most part. They find ways to win games, and the Saints are not that good at defending a lot of things. Their cornerback McKinstry's out. They just traded Marshawn Lattimore. They are in full tank mode, I believe. So I think that this 3.5 is low considering the direction that each of these teams are going in at the moment. I really like the Falcons to be able to cover this line. And the Saints, they just lost to the Panthers, guys. Like, they just lost to the Panthers. Like, there's really not too much to talk about. I know that, one, you got Drake London, who's questionable right now. I'm really liking what's his face's. Geez, I'm forgetting his name. Darnell Mooney. I'm really liking his receiving yards because Kirk Cousins loved him regardless. So now, if you have a banged up Drake London that's out there, he's looking to him even more. So I really like his receiving yards. That's currently sitting at 57.5. Drake London's line sitting at 60.5, but I like Darnell Mooney. I think the Falcons should be able to win this game handily, and that's pretty much what I'm thinking on this one. Yeah, pretty simple, straightforward. Just don't overthink things. Falcons are better. Saints suck, and they're not looking to get any better.
Okay. I like it. I'm kind of the same way with you. New head coach, new special teams coach, like you said. I do think that gives the Saints I think this is one of those times where you bet the Saints this week and then you fade the shit out of them next week, because it's just one of those games. New head coach come in, they're going to try and get up for the game. Oh, a new Saints team, this is it. This is our, this is the start, blah, blah, blah. You know how it goes. It's sports. So, and we see it happen all the time. So I'm going to be a little cautious on taking the Falcons to win or cover this spread, just because I think the Saints are going to play with a little more, like I said, motivation this game. The only thing I really liked from this game was two things. You mentioned one, Darnell Mooney. I do like Darnell Mooney, like I said, especially with a banged up Drake London. I'm waiting to see what Ray McLeod's receiving line comes out as. He's been doing pretty well for this Falcons team this year. What I'm seeing right now on Props.cash is that it might be at 17.5. If it's that low, then I'm more than happy to take that. That's one, maybe two catches from Ray McLeod, which I think he can get to pretty easily. And then I'm also looking at Derek Carr, his passing yards. Atlanta is 20th, allowing 218 passing yards per game. I do think, like you said, Atlanta is going to have no trouble scoring on the Saints. Horrible defense. So I do think the Falcons are going to put up points. So I think Derek is going to have to throw a lot more. And regardless of the season and criticism that Derek Carr has gotten, he's been pretty consistent with his passing yard line. He's only not hit 200. His line's at 204 and a half. I think that's low. He's only not hit this 3 times this season. And one time he hit for, it was 198 when he didn't get there. And I think he can be, I think he's going to be able, like I said, to pass on this Falcons team. I think he's going to have to pass on this Falcons team. So I think a 204 passing line for Derek Carr against the Falcons is a little low, especially when I think they're going to be playing from behind. So I do like Derek Carr's passing yards.
Okay. I just don't know who's catching for that team. You know,
yeah, that's enough.
Olave's, he's out with a concussion. Rashid Shaheed's already out he's been out for the season. Bub Means, I think he wound up on IR. It's just like, who's getting the ball? who's lining up outside the numbers? I don't know.
Jawan Johnson, Mason Tipton.
Stomach bubbling.
Foster Moreau. Yeah, my stomach bubbling too. Yeah. All right, next game. Bronco. Wait, I'm sorry. So we both liked Mooney, and
you like Derek Carr's passing yards.
Yeah. That's what Derek. Yeah, okay, I got that already. All right, sorry, I had to write it down. I'll be building a big, watered down kind of parlay of all the picks that me and Kev go through today, and we'll see what comes out of it. Broncos. Wait, I'm way ahead of them. Wait, no, I'm not. Broncos, Chiefs. Chiefs sitting at -7.5, -380 on the money line. Total sitting at 42. That's something, I think, for this game.
I hate it.
Yeah, me too. Oh,
anytime the Broncos are involved, I hate the game.
Yeah. See, we're not going to spend too much time on this game. This is going to be a very weird game. I don't trust the Chiefs to cover any lines. I do trust them to win, but I do not ever trust them to cover the spread. The Chiefs have made it obviously clear that they do not care about Vegas, our betting props, or anything this year. They just care about the money line. And I'm not going to bet them on it because they don't cover any spreads throughout the season. So I'm not taking the Chiefs to cover a spread. I'm not taking a -380 on the money line because I think the Chiefs got to lose eventually. And what do you know? It probably will be this week against the Broncos when I bet them. But what I do think is that I think this is going to be I like the under in this game. I don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring, at least in this game. Denver's defense is still legit. I don't think that Kareem Hunt is going to really do too much here against this Broncos defense. And I don't think Pat Mahomes is going to kill. He might. I mean, he does. He just kills. He might kill, but I think it's going to be tough for him. I think the Broncos are going to put Mahomes to a little bit of a test. And what I do think is that he will, when they get in that red zone area, I like D-Hop for an anytime touchdown. I think against this secondary, against Denver, he's going to be really looking for someone reliable and trustworthy down there in that red zone. And I think the Broncos, they are 8th when it comes to guarding the tight end. So I don't see Kelsey really getting too open in the red zone too often like that. So I think he's really going to be looking for D-Hop in that red zone area this week. And I think he'll score. But other than that, that's really all I got. D-Hop anytime touchdown, and if anything, take the under on this game. I mean, I don't see a shootout. I don't see Bo Nix putting up 28 points, 21 points against the Chiefs. So that's it. That's all I got. You? Nothing?
It's a nasty game. I know you mentioned that the Broncos are 8th against defending tight ends. It doesn't really scare me that much away from Travis Kelce. And that's not to say that I think that Travis Kelce is like the greatest. I mean, he obviously overall is an all-time great tight end. But when you look at the tight ends that the Ravens or that the Broncos have gone up against, aside from last week when they went up against Mark Andrews, I think he had like 2 catches and like 20-something yards, nothing crazy. Carolina Panthers, you don't really have to worry about their tight ends too much or their quarterback situation. Then the Saints, there's Juwan Johnson. The Chargers, I don't even know who the tight end is for the Chargers, you know. But then when they played the Raiders, Brock Bowers had like 8 for 97, you know, and that's a big athletic tight end. And he had a tutty too. So I kind of like if there's going to be a touchdown score here, one, it's either going to be you like D-Hop. I think it's either going to be Travis Kelce or Kareem Hunt just somehow falling into the end zone, which it just seems like he does. But yeah, the under seems like something that should happen in this game. I think it's going to be a really boring game. I think it's going to be a really nasty, boring, gross game that I won't be watching. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I mean it's not too much. Next game, Tampa Bay, San Fran. Another weird game. 49ers, huh?
Points. There should be points scored in this game.
Oh, yeah. 49ers minus 6.5, minus 290 on the money line. Total sitting at 50. High game. I'll have mixed feelings about this game, so I'll just get what I got out the way, and then I feel like you probably got something more productive. I really just looked at the Bucks are horrible against the pass. They're just terrible against it. And I think that against a structured offense like the 49ers are, the 49ers don't run the same type of like scheme and play an offensive scheme that most teams do, especially with their wideouts. So I know Ayuk is out. So I went back to the Juwan Jennings. I think he's gonna have a game, man, against this Bucks secondary. I don't like Debo, you know that. I think Debo's a great football player. I think he's in a hell of a football player. He can run, but he can't run routes. I'll tell you that. I watched this man run routes, and I think he's one of the worst route runners in the league, but that's for another day. So I don't like anything Debo ever receiving. I do love George Kittle though and Juwan Jennings this game. I think the Tampa Bay ranks 30th when it comes to guarding the tight end, and Kittle has been on fucking fire the last 4 fucking weeks. He had 128 last game, 92 against the Chiefs the game before that. So I'm loving George Kittle receiving yards. I'm loving his receptions. If they're still at 4.5, I'll gladly take that as well. Take the 5, but I do love Juwan Jennings too. I like Juwan Jennings yards because usually when he does get a catch, it's usually for more than about 15 or so. So I'm loving his receiving yards at 40.5. I think that's entirely too low for this type of game, especially with the total sitting at 50. That means they think it's going to be some points. And if it's going to be some points, it's going to be through the air because neither of these teams I don't see running on each other like that, like crazy. No Bucky, no Rashad, Jordan Mason. I think he can get.
Got Christian coming back.
I don't know if he's
expected to make his debut on Sunday.
Yeah, but they're not going to come back and he's not going to get a 16 to 20 carry game. They're going to blow out the Achilles again. So if he does come back, I don't think it really matters this game, like I said, because I don't think they're going to give him a full workload right away like that. So I still think they're going to still think 49ers are going to have to move through the air majority of this game. And even if they do get up, I feel like they're going to do a lot of back and forth with him and Mason, especially with Christian. If he is coming back, just coming back, they're not just going to let him go for 20 to 25 carries in this first game back. So I'm confident in the passing game for this 49ers team against the Bucks.
Okay. All right. So the Bucks showed that they have a little bit of life in them last week when they forced the Chiefs to overtime, and they put up, what was it? I think it was a 57-point total.
We needed that though.
game.
Remember that? We needed that overtime though. So good thing they did.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, you thought that you needed it, right?
Oh,
You thought you needed it.
yo, just in case, yo. Did anybody else bet Baker 200 yards last week when they gave him the Cat? I was about to call you. Well, I know I text you, but I was about to call you and say, because I was counting it when they punted the ball, he needed it was like 60 yards, and no, it was like 59 yards. He needed it, and they was on the 30, and I was like, okay. It's no way he don't. If they run the ball, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? At all. But they shouldn't run the ball. It was like 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? It was like, they're not running the ball. I said, if he scores, I win. Because they're going to pass the whole way down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he finally got down there, and then he scored. And I was like, yes. I was screaming. I'm like, yes. I see one. I said, no, it's no way. He started at the 60. And he got sacked one time, and they moved the ball back. And I was like, it's no way he didn't get Kevin. I was about to go berserk. And then I was like, yo, I need this overtime. Then I just looked, and they said 200. I said, oh, never mind.
I don't need it, actually.
What was we rooting for? It was like, because I was like, I know I need Baker 1 yard. And he was like, no, we need, what did you need that game?
I can't. Oh, it was,
you needed something because remember I was like, oh, never mind, he got it. Let's go. I start cheering for damn. Wait, I don't think it was the Bucks though. I think you had somebody.
It must have been.
Oh,
it had to have been like Travis Kelce receiving or something. It had to be something like that because I didn't really have too much. I think I had Kansas City money line, and I had like Travis Kelce receiving or something on the one ticket that I had, because then I had 2 college basketball picks on there too. So I think I was mainly just sweating the fact that I was like,
I think it was just Chiefs money line. I think
because I was just like, can I just win the game? Right, and you said no, overtime. I'm like, can they just win? Win.
You was like, no. You was like, because they might go for 2 or some shit like
yes, I was like, yeah, because if they score and they go for 2, I'm sick.
He was like, no, he was like, no, in the game.
Just leave. Win and go home.
Yeah, that's right. Because I said he got it. Never mind. Let's go Chiefs. I was like, all right. But anyways,
but yeah,
I think that's it. Right? Did you say what you liked from this game, or did I? You said
it's weird because they finally hopped on the K Dotton's line, and the 49ers are really good at defending tight ends. I think it's up to like 58.5, 59.5.
I'm not going there this week.
Yeah, that's too steep for me. It's way too steep. But the 49ers
is out on K Dotton, right?
What'd you say?
The news is out on K
Dotton. Yeah. So if I'm doing anything with K Dotton, it's an anytime touchdown. Because you know that Baker's looking for him. That's his guy, but those yards, that's way too steep for me at this point in time. His receptions are also at 5.5, and it's minus 156. It's just they're like, yeah, no, you're not making any more money on this. You're not doing it. But there are a lot of points to be scored in this game, and Ricky Pearsall's line is very low receiving. It's 22.5. I'm taking that.
Ew.
Huh?
I said, ew.
I'm taking it. At 22.5, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. That he's shown his ability as a wide receiver. We don't think that Christian McCaffrey or Jordan Mason is going to just completely run all over this defense, because it's not like the Buccaneers are complete pushovers up front. But 22.5 is low. I know that you love Jawan Jennings, and I know that you love George Kittle. I love George Kittle as well. I really do. He's been murdering. I don't think
he did. I'm sorry. Ricky did get 4 and 5 targets last 2 games. He was out there 76% of the snaps against the Chiefs, only 59% of the snaps though against Dallas.
I'm not too worried about it. I think that he gets 22.5. I do.
59% snap, 24.5. That's a catch or two.
Mm-hmm. So I like those yards. The only thing that I probably would take from this game, even though they're projected to be a lot of points, I feel like things are kind of graded out pretty respectfully. But the only real thing that I probably take from this, and it would go in a parlay, and it would be like 40 receiving yards for George Kittle. But there's no real line that I love. But I do like the Ricky Parasol to get at least 23 receiving yards. Everything else, I'm probably gonna just steer clear of. But and there's a lot of points to go around in this game. But yeah.
I'll keep an eye on the receiving props that game. Like I said, I think it's gonna be an air game. So I'm gonna see what Trey Palmer, like if they disrespect him and his line's like in the 20s or like low 30s, I might take a peek and see what his 25 plus yards look like. If they, let's see what the Bucks come with first. So keep an eye on those receiving props for all those guys, especially on the Bucks side, because there is this isn't fantasy, but there is value on that Bucks receiving core. Now, which one is going to be, don't know.
Bless you. Thank you.
Yeah, which one is going to be, don't know. But if you're playing fantasy this week, maybe you throw in a Bucks a Ricky Parcell or a Trey Palmer in the FanDuel for a little sleeper, 50 total. He might get in there. He just needed to really get a touchdown and a couple catches, and he paid off. So keep an eye on that, y'all. Bucks wide receivers. Keep an eye on it. Last game of the early slate, Patriots, Bears. Ew. Bears sitting at -6, -285 on the money line. Total sitting at 38.5. What is this? Who put this game on TV?
It's not worth it.
Regardless, I'm going to keep an eye on this stuff. I'm going to bet one thing for sure, but I'm going to keep an eye on a few things. And let me just pull it up here as soon as I can find Chicago. Okay. I looked at Caleb Williams passing yards. I'm probably not going to bet it. I mean, New England, they allow 224, 22nd in the league. Caleb's thrown for over 200, about 50% of the time. I think he can on New England. He should. I'm not too confident in it, but I am going to keep an eye on it, as I said. But I do like DeAndre Swift receiving yards. I think I mentioned this like first week to you or like third week, week 3. And I was like, is anyone watching the games and see that DeAndre Swift is just constantly hitting his receiving line and they don't adjust it? Like it's been 17.5 for weeks. And I don't know if it's been there since week 3. It's just been 17. I think so. And
yeah,
I don't know what it is now. I don't know if it's even out yet, but if it's 17.5, I'm willing to take this up to 23, 24.5. I mean, he's covered this in 80% of the games. 75% of the games this season. And I don't think he's running. I mean, he can run on this New England defense. Don't get me wrong, but I'm more confident with DeAndre Swift in this day and age with him in the receiving game since he constantly gets the target. Like, he has 6 targets last game against Arizona. And he's just constantly getting it 31, 28, 47, 72, 22, 24. So if his line is anywhere in the low 20s, I will be taking DeAndre Swift over receiving lines. I also like Cole Kmet too. His line's low, 25.5. New England's only ranked 18th versus the tight end. Cole Kmet had 2 bad games against Arizona and Washington. But before that, he got 70, 57, 34, 97, 27. I think this could be a good get back spot for Cole Kmet this game. So I'm going to keep an eye on his receiving line as well. So that's what I got from this. DeAndre Swift and Cole Kmet receiving props.
Yeah, I'm not gonna linger too long on this. I like DeAndre Swift rushing. I like it a lot. I know last week he got bottled up by a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde rush defense that is the Arizona Cardinals. You never really know what's going to happen when you go up against them. But this Patriots team, they're allowing teams to run on them, and they're allowing them really to do a lot of things to them. But DeAndre Swift, aside from last week, that outlier where I think he had 16 rushes for 53 yards, he's been really hot. His line's at 71.5. I'll take his rushing all day, especially with him projected to win this game by close to a touchdown. I think that he should be able to get that. But I don't like anything else. I don't like it. This girl's game. No, I'm not going to say nothing else. That's it.
Okay, let me get that down. 50. DeAndre Swift rushing. I'll probably take it down. I like him at 50. I'll probably take it down to 50. See what we can get there. Probably be like, hopefully, in the minus 290, 310 area. We'll see when we get there. Afternoon slate. Titans, Chargers. Horrible.
Huh.
Do you have anything from this game?
Not really. No.
I don't. I personally.
There's a lot of just junk on this slate.
Yeah, I personally don't want to get into that game. If you're betting that game, my advice to you is don't. My advice to you is just don't. I was looking at, if anything, I was looking at was Tony Pollard, but the Chargers aren't a slouch. They're eighth again in the rushing game, and they're only allowing 107 yards per game. So I love Tony Pollard. I mean, he's having a hell of a year with this Titans team, but I don't trust him to. It's nice at 62.5, but I'm going to stay away from that. So I don't like anything from this game, so I'm just going to move on. Don't bet that game. Stay away from it. If you really, really want something from us about that game, just hit me in the DM or on X, and I'll give you something, but I'm not going to like it. I'll tell you that right now. Eagles, Cowboys. Eagles sitting at -7.5, -360 on the money line. Total sitting at 43.5. Kev, what you like this game?
Oh man,
Cooper Rush, baby.
Yeah,
Cooper Rush in the pew, baby.
Yeah, this is football.
Can we see Trey Lance?
I don't think so. Cooper Rush, when he pops in, he's serviceable. He's serviceable.
Yeah. Is it gonna be one of the? It's only like the first couple games though. Is this it? Is this where he wild out, and then we fade him next week? Is this one of those things? Is this one of those times?
This is such a bad game. Like, all of this is so gross. Like, why did they do all this on 1 week? They said, "Oh, you got other sports back." They probably won't notice this game or this weekend. They probably won't. Everybody will watch the team.
I don't know. Dell. Just have the Eagles play Dallas. Shit, fuck it. No,
it's just everybody will watch their team that they watch devoutly, and like all that other stuff.
This a rivalry. Wait,
rivalry.
A rivalry. There we go. Sorry. This is a rivalry. When I was in Philly, when I lived in Philly, y'all, by the way, for a little while, they hate the Cowboys with a passion. So I think Eagles get up for this game, and the Eagles are a lot better with A.J. Brown playing. I think AJ.
I wouldn't know. Every time I pick him, he gets hurt. So
true, but
maybe I'll pick him. Maybe I'll pick him this weekend just so we can have an interesting game.
Is this just simple? Take the Eagles. Cooper Rush. Dallas sucks. Healthy Eagles team. They're looking better. Is this as simple as take the Eagles?
It kind of feels that way. It's just it's nasty, man, because the pieces that you expect to do something, they're not really doing everything that they're like. I feel like the only thing that I'd really be interested in is just like, what, Saquon's been going nuts. Let me just take him to rush for 91 yards. Like, if I expect the Eagles to just trounce this Cowboys team, I'll just go with the guy that they keep handing the ball off to, let him do all different types of cartwheels, spins, and backflips into the end zone, and just
as soon as he got to the locker room, they said piss in the cup. They had the cup. They had the cup in this. They had the nurse or whoever the lady is back there. As soon as he got out the game in the locker room, they said, come here, Pete, go ahead, come on. Let me see that iron. I need that blood, and I'm pissing this cup right now.
Actually, might as well give us a droplet of your blood too. Just make sure. Let's make sure.
Yeah, actually, don't even get changed. You going to the lab.
He's been going nuts. So
Saquon's fucking wilding this year.
I don't know about anything from this game because weird things happen in divisional games. But
was it the Giants?
Huh?
Was it the Giants holding Saquon back?
Oh, of course. Aside from the fact that he was getting hurt, mainly because he'd get the ball and then it'd be 6 people that he would have to try to juke 5 yards deep in the backfield. Kind of a tall task for anybody. That's not a saying, So, I think 91 yards should be manageable for a team that's expected to win this game pretty handily. I'm staying away from everything else, and I hate to just cop out with that, but this is just a nasty slate. It's all these games, the things they've just devolved into a nasty situation that I don't really want a whole lot of. So Saquon we trust. I'm just going to stick with that.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't really like this one either. I do like this one, but I like a side. Not necessarily props, but I do like a side. Jets, Cardinals.
Oh my God. Why is this happening all weekend? All the games?
Well, yeah. It's
all of them?
Yeah, it's gonna be a nasty weekend. Jets are sitting at -2, -130 on the money line. Total was sitting at 46.5. I'm gonna come straight out with it. I'm gonna take the Cardinals to win this game. I don't think the Cardinals are as bad as their record shows.
Aren't they above 500?
Yeah, they're 5-4, but it's an ugly 5-4, is what I'm saying. Like, they're not pretty games, but they're doing. I think they're getting a lot better. I think this is a huge. That I just feel this is a James Conner day. I feel like this is a James Conner day. His line's at 77.5. That's a little high. I know it's a little scary, but this Jets Jets rush defense allows 132 or 21st. I love James Conner combined yards. I'm going to be looking at that. It's not out yet, I don't believe, but I'm loving James Conner rushing and receiving yards. I'm going to be definitely looking at what that is combined. But I like Arizona to win the game. I think the Jets suck. I think that win against, what was it, New England last week?
Who, the Jets?
Yeah.
No, they beat the Texans last week.
The Texans, yeah, but they beat a depleted Texans team. Like, I think if Nico and Diggs was there, that would have went a whole different way. So, I don't think the Jets are good. So I'm taking Arizona because I think they're better. That's really all I got. Yeah, I mean, I just think I guess it's more of a gut feeling in this game, regardless of like with the research or what you might feel or talent level. I'm willing to lock up Arizona this week, and I will be.
I almost feel like I'd rather vomit and then have to eat it like soup than and I have to figure out what I'm confident in with this game because this is so gross. Mm-hmm. It's just nasty. Like in all honesty, if there's one thing that I love from this game, it's this under 46.5 points. It's too many points. It's too many points in this game. I feel like the Jets secondary is not bad. Hassan Reddick decided that he wants to play football. So they should be able to get some pressure, but it seems like whenever Kyler whenever Kyler Murray is just scrambling around the backfield, you might as well just have like the Benny Hill music playing over, because he doesn't get sacked. Like he's just scattering all just scatting all over the backfield, and he just throws something. So I mean, I think that the Jets secondary, he just throws something. He's a quarterback. That's what they do. So he just throwing something down the field, and I don't know, but I think 46.5 is way too many points. That Breece Hall rushing line is too high for me. Like I said, 64.5, that's really high. But if there's something that I'm confident in, I don't think 46.5, honestly. I don't think they get to that 46.5. I don't know who wins this game. But these matchups, man, like, what the heck? Okay.
What
next.
the hell? Okay.
Man.
Night game, last game. Lions, Texans. Lions sitting at -3.5. Don't know why. -218 on the money line. Total sitting at 49. Lions? No.
It seems like it should be.
Lions 3.5 with no Diggs in.
It's still up in the air. Still up in the air as to whether or not Nico's going to play Sunday night.
And if he does, do we think he just coming back and just wilding?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on how that hamstring is feeling. I'm always a little bit hesitant on hamstrings because every time that I try to give the benefit of the doubt, it's failed me. So reasonably so for me. I don't usually like it, but the Lions have been playing outstanding football. Houston is not a bad team, obviously, but they're very depleted. And Joe Mixon's not going to have a Joe Mixon day versus the Lions in front. They're one of the best teams against the rush in the NFL. If I'm going anything, it's going to be Lions to win this game. The 3.5 that shouldn't be super scary. But you can't even really pick any of the receiving parts from this offense because you don't know if Amon-Ra's getting it. You don't know if it's going to Sam Laporta. You don't know if Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get some catches. You don't know if Khalif Raymond's just going to go off for 100 yards. And in all honesty, yeah, it sucks from a betting standpoint, but it should give you more confidence in the Lions as a team to be able to win this game by at least 4 points because they're so varied in their attack that you don't know which angle it's coming from. And if you're going up against a depleted team, that's just even worse for them. So I think that the Lions should be able to win this game by 3.5 points, even with them being on the road. They're one of the best teams in football, if not the best team in football right now. And I think that they handily win this game.
Okay. Lions -3.5. That's on my radar too. I'm also looking at Jared Goff, his passing yards. Only 145 and 85 last game, but they blew out Green Bay, and then the versus Tennessee, where they didn't need to do anything. But before that, Jared Goff is. I mean, if it wasn't for just people, Lamar Jackson playing like the best thing in the world, this dude is in conversation for MVP. The way he's playing this year, his completion percentage is out of this world. He's just playing smart football, and he's really not making too many mistakes out there, and he's playing really, really well this year, man. So 232 passing yards. If Nico does play, I love this even more because then I feel like the Texans are going to be more back, not full strength to their high power offense like they are, but they're going to be more reluctant to go through the air instead of trying to feed Mixon all day, which they've been doing the last 2 weeks because they have to. But with a couple more threats back on offense to move the ball against this Lions team, I really think that
you good over there, bro?
Yeah, I know, right? A lot of air yards. So I do like Jared Goff. His passing yards, they're at 232.5. It looks like he's projected for 273 on props.cash, which is 40 more yards than his projection. So anything that's projected 40 more yards than what's supposed to happen, I think I'm gonna take a good eye at that. So I will be keeping an eye on Jared Goff. His passing yards and 200 is nothing for Jared Goff. So I love that.
Okay.
I think we got through everything. Got through the NFL slate. I will be putting together. I'm going to get it together now. I'm going to soon. I'm going to send it over to Cav or review it. We're going to put together a special lotto parlay for you guys with a little watered down version of all the picks that we agreed on the pod here and that we think is a safe bet for Sunday. So we'll start at 9:30 in the morning and we will end at probably 11 something at night. So all day parlay, something to keep us busy, something to keep us going. Hopefully you tail it. Please like and subscribe to the video. Goes a long way for us and eventually will go a long way for you. Please follow me here at spotlight_716 on X. If you're watching from X, then you already know what we are. Check the past results this last week we had was amazing. We hit at least a play or parlay every day. Last Sunday we were 80% with our picks and we hit 2 parlays. So hopefully you guys were with us. Hopefully we have an even better weekend this upcoming Sunday. Stay to the page for some NBA and think Kev might have a college basketball parlay.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a little bit of research after we get off of here, try to see what we may like tonight.
Okay, so expect a college basketball and NBA parlay and a NBA best play tonight on the X account. Is getting close to the time, so I gotta get busy. Kev's gotta get busy. We'll talk to you guys soon. We will see you guys Monday for our Monday Night Football and NBA college basketball talk. I'm your boy Hawk. That's Kate. That's KP. We are out. Thank you guys.
Take care, everybody.
You are now watching the Loxs Gambling Podcast. Let's play, baby.